Land. C. Water. C. Gotcha.
My childhood experience in sports was really competitive. Growing up in Memphis, man, you had all of these high school stars, and you had people playing basketball that were like really under the radar, because right now you got people going viral off of a dunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can be their first dunk and they're going viral off of it. But we had kids, high school phenoms, that were going viral in the city of Memphis, never getting that much experience and never getting that much exposure, really. And myself, I had to be competitive because I was the underdog. Like I went to a school, Overton High School, which we're on the way to right now, and I played ball there. I mean, I was averaging about 15 points a game. I wasn't really just a star, I was basically, kind of average. But being here in Memphis, man, it made me be real competitive. It made me go hard and work hard at all times. So that's pretty much like my experience with basketball here. Type of warmth. We came out here to the court and, man, just balled. Like, this was the time when there were like no holds barred. It was no coaches, no nothing. We just came out free play. And man, this kind of like where I made a name for myself too. Being outside the lines of the hardwood floor, coming out here to the asphalt, concrete, just balling, man. Then on the other side, if it was too cold out here, we're going to community center right here. This is Marion Hale Community Center, and we'll go in there, play ball, man. And I mean, all of the staff knew us because we went over there so frequently, like almost like every day. If we didn't have practice, we were in the gym. If we couldn't get in that gym, we out here on the court. We can't get on this court, we going somewhere else, or we going to somebody's backyard and playing ball. And yeah, man, this is the genesis of me being so into basketball like I was. But one disappointment was not being able to get to the school that I really wanted to go to. There were two colleges that were looking at me, and they closed the door on me. And Belhaven University opened the door for me. Got there. A setback that I had there was just differences with the play style of the coach. The coach wanted me to be more of a point guard, and I wanted to be more of a two guard that can shoot and score. And he kind of put me back in my place and said, look, you're going to have to play the way that the coach needs you to play. So, I mean, that kind of hindered me, and it kind of hindered my scoring. I mean, my assist and everything went up, but I was doing more so of facilitating more than scoring. So my experience at Bethel University, man, I was actually recruited by my friend Sip, Sylvester Sip. Like, he told me about Bethel, and he was like, man, come on over here, and I came over and I started training with the basketball team, and everybody was showing me so much love. I mean, it was a great environment, great place to be. It's a Christian school, and yeah, I was still worshiping basketball. I was still worshiping, God at the same time. But, in scripture it said you can't worship God and mammon. And in this case, my mammon was basketball. And And man, I began to get closer to God. I began to understand and realize that it wasn't all about basketball. One major disappointment, in my career was actually losing my best friend, Sylvester Sip. He passed away and lost him, and he actually passed away playing basketball. And that kind of like just made my dreams of playing basketball just dwindle down the drain. And I remember it being like a dark moment for me. And it was pretty, like I said, it was pretty dark, man. I was going through depression. I was going through anxiety. I was going through a lot of worry and a lot of stress, all because of that loss, and didn't really know which way to go, What gave me hope during that time, me and my now wife, we began talking, and we were talking around the time that Sip had passed away. And I was in a moment where I call it my Jonah moment, because I had moved out to Phoenix, Arizona, and I didn't know anybody out there, and I was like literally like in the hot seat. It was like blazing hot in Phoenix, man. Like, I'm talking about whether it's like 116, on a good day. And I was in a moment where I could not trust anybody else but God. I didn't have, too much family. I had some family members there, but I mean, we weren't as close because I was always to myself. So I was always like just secluding myself, putting myself in an area where nobody could like really talk to me. And like I said, I started talking to my now wife, and we were recording and just having conversations on the phone. And she was like giving me hope, like, there's more to it than just basketball. And ironically, my friend Sip said the same thing before he passed. We had a conversation, and he was like, yo, what are we going to do after basketball is over with? And I was like, man, we're going to play ball forever. What you mean? Ball is life. But he was really being serious with me. Like, what are we going to do when it's all over with? How are we going to give back? How are we going to use our purpose, to fuel somebody else's? And I was like, wow. And that was that moment for me where I was like, all right, I gotta think of something. Something else can be done. And as I talked to my wife, she was bringing more and more out of me, and I began to do inspirational videos on Facebook and Instagram. Back when the Instagram videos were probably like 15 seconds, now they're like almost like a minute now. My hope for young athletes now, I want you guys to strive. I want them to strive for excellence, strive for their goals, strive to be the best. And even with, the people that I mentor, I make sure I tell them, yeah, it's okay to, love basketball. It's okay to love football and all of that. But make sure that you're doing it, not for all selfish reasons. Yeah, you want to be great. You want to be the best player on the team and all of that. But do something to make somebody else better, And I always encourage my mentees and tell them that, like, there is more to it than just basketball. There's more to it than football. There's more to it than track, softball, baseball, all of that. But we have a light to shine, and we got to make sure that we use that light. We got to make sure that we inspire other people. We got to make sure that we lead other people down the right path by what we do. Because if I would have been selfish, and just always thought about myself, who knows who could have been looking at me? Somebody else could have been thinking the same way. I'm just gonna get it for myself. I'm just gonna get it for me, But now that I've been awakened, and now that I know God has like opened me up, and I found Jesus and everything, like it's way more to it than just sports. My name is Alan McClain, former collegiate basketball player at BETHEL University. Basketball was my guy.